Yeah.
What's up? How are
You
you?
know, we're not used to beautiful girls on the show. We had Kalani this week, Chanel West Coast. You know, we trying to stay. Yo, could you turn the fucking claps off? We trying to step our game up with the beautiful women. So, because there's always so much testosterone around here, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I feel
How
you.
you
I feel you.
been?
I'm always around guys too.
How you been? How's everything?
I'm great. How are you?
I can't complain, man. I ain't see you in a while. Uh, I know you got things going on and everything, man. Thank you for stopping by the big show, man. This is great.
Thank you for having me. This is crazy. You don't I gotta tell you the funniest story. Like when I was in seventh grade, I was grounded and my mom was like, you can't do shit. And all I could do was listen to the radio. And that was when What's Love was like the most poppin' song on the radio. And I have the most vivid memory of just being grounded in my room, listening to this song, wishing that I could be with my friends hanging out. It's like a
Yeah.
crazy to be here talking to you now. Like it's so fucking funny.
That was big for me, man. Thank you, man. What's love saved my life,
Yeah, that was a big
My
record.
brother, my brother Big Pun had just passed away. Everybody was sleeping on me because he was way better than me, and I admit it. And so I had to dig deep and pray, and that song changed my life. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you was
Yeah.
rocking to it. At least they,
Yeah,
they
no.
didn't take the radio from you.
That's all I was allowed to do was listen to the radio. I was like, that was before iPhones and shit. So like taking away TV was like taking away like an iPhone back then, and taking away
Yeah,
my
yeah.
privilege to go out. Like that really going out was taking away that privilege. My mom knew she was holding me down by doing that.
Who you was listening to? Who you was listening to when you was coming up? Like who were major influences on the way up?
Definitely my number one influence is Tupac. I listened to a lot of Tupac in middle school and high school and like around when I started rapping. I was listening to a lot of a lot of Dipset. I was actually listening to a lot of East Coast shit. It's kind of ironic, because I'm Chanel West Coast, but I was listening to, Dipset, 50 Cent, Mobb Deep, Jadakiss. Like that's what I was really listening to like a lot of in high school. And then Tupac mainly. Like Tupac's really like what got me into rapping.
So everybody you pretty much described, right? They're like real spitters. Is that
Yeah.
what you describe your music? Are you like a spitter, like a
Um,
real lyricist?
I would like to say so. Yeah, I mean, I'm a writer. That's how I got into doing rapping. Like I've been singing since I was a little girl, but I didn't really know how to write like singing songs and melodies. So I just started writing raps, and I've been writing raps since I was like really little. Like basically writing poetry since I was like 8 years old. And it kind of just naturally happened because I was also a hip hop dancer. So like I was always into hip hop dance, and then I knew I wanted to do music, but I didn't know how to write singing songs, so I just started writing raps. And yeah, that was like all the music I was listening to, like right around the time I started rapping. So
You know, so now I know you had a big journey, but everybody might know you from the TV show.
yep.
Like you've been on there a long time. Like that's actually a very successful TV show with Rob. What's it
Thank
like?
you.
What's it like? Because he seemed like the coolest guy in the world, Rob. I never met him.
Yeah, you gotta come be on the show soon. I can't believe you haven't been on yet. Like what the fuck?
That's crazy. How many years you been on this show? You've been on for a while though.
Yeah, I don't even like saying it. I'm like, yeah, it makes me feel old. But yeah, it's been like 8 years now on Ridiculousness, and then I was on his other show, Fantasy Factory, for like another 2 years before we started that.
And what's the vibe with that? Because he's such a cool guy. Like what is it about you that he wants to keep working with you and he brings you on to the next project?
I think Rob is like the funniest person in real life. Like he's so funny. He's just like that, like how you see him on TV. Maybe not as crazy. Like he's a little bit more turned up when the cameras are on, but he's like a really funny, just fun-loving person, and he's a hustler and he respects hustlers. And I think that's why Rob put me on in the first place. Is like I think that he saw like obviously I'm funny or whatever, and he saw like a funny side of me, but when I met Rob, I was rapping. I was on my MySpace music page, fucking grinding, like adding people all day long, you know, doing these little shows where I had to, you know, sell tickets and shit to my friends, like to try and perform. And I think that Rob like saw that I was a hustler and he really respected that. And he needed a girl to be on his show. So I think I kind of just, you know, fit that role. And that's why he put me on.
That's dope. I know you, how did you meet Cash Money? Because I know you were signed to Cash Money first.
Yeah, man, it's such a long story. I was signed to Polo to Dawn first, and Polo was the first person who like had connected me with Cash Money, but then I had met Wayne like separately, like on my own, and it's such a long story. There was a lot of complications, let's just say, like around that time with like Wayne and Birdman, and I think I got kind of caught in the middle of it type thing. But yeah, like I actually, you know, it's funny. We actually have a mutual friend. I know Raul.
I know you know Raul. I met you before through Raul. I know you know Raul.
Yeah, no, Raul. It's funny. Raul took me to the studio one time to go meet Wayne, and I remember Mac was like, "What the fuck, Raul's dropping you off?" He was like, Mac was like, "How the fuck do you know Raul?" I was like, you know, I know.
Everybody knows Raul. He's in Miami. He came hung out with me like 2 days, and then he disappeared. And all I keep watching him on Instagram is in every fancy restaurant. You know, Raul should write a book about who he knows. Like Raul he'll pop up with Scott Disick. He's like the randomest people. He'll just pop up on me and be like, "Yo, Scott Disick is here." Yo, I'm like, "Yo, Raul's something." He's lit. Man.
He's lit. And I know Chris Jones. You know Chris Jones?
I know Chris Jones well, the best Chris Jones. You know the two craziest guys in Terror Squad. Well, you know Chris Jones, for years we always joked that he's the only handsome guy in Terror Squad. Did you know Chris Jones looked like a model? He got like the Chinese eyes, and you know what I mean? And you know, if we ever wanted to show off our beauty in Terror Squad, we would bring Chris Jones. And be like, yeah. If we all ain't bald Puerto Rican guys with goatees, we got the Chinese guy too.
Yo, I bet that Chris loves that you call him the handsome one of the group.
No, he's the one. I swear to God, for years I've been using him. Like if we got to go to an event, but we need the handsome looking Terror Squad guy, I bring Chris Jones. That's it. He come up in there, girls be like, "Oh shit, they got it." Damn, man.
That's so funny.
It's crazy because I can't tell you that story. That story is way too crazy. So you signed to Cash Money. Was it through Lil Wayne or was it through Birdman?
Yeah, so that's where it was complicated. So it was like so basically they wanted me to do the deal with Cash Money, but then I met Wayne like separately, and basically like Wayne and you know his management were like, "No, you got to be Young Money too," you know, like because Wayne like fucked with me. He loved my music, and so I think that's maybe like I don't want to say anything, you know, I don't know anything. Like I think
politics. You got caught up in politics. A lot of times, this game is based on politics. You know, like I got an artist, right? Her name's Angelica Villa. I'll just say it. We dropped a single. She signed to Rock Nation. We happy there, but she dropped a single. We were about to cross top 10, and I had Meek Mill on her remix, and we were preparing for number one, right? And all this momentum, and out of nowhere, they fired the whole radio team right when we were about to go for, you know, to take her shit number one. And unfortunately, she was an innocent bystander of politics. Once the radio team's gone, ain't nobody working this shit. But I had to explain to her at a young age. I was just like, "Look, Angelica, you got caught up in the politics. There's nothing we could do. Fucked up, it happened." Like, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that happens all the time, especially when you're on one guy's side and they're going to war with somebody else. You know, for years I've learned how to just take that as karma or you know, it is what it is. You know, sometimes You know, I'm Ja Rule's friend. Ja Rule saves my life. Ja Rule actually gave me What's Love. He made What's Love for me. And then he goes into beef with 50 Cent. And obviously 50 Cent had a tremendous energy going on at that time. And everybody, all the fake people were telling me, yo, don't be Ja Rule's friend. Chill, get away from him. Yo, this. And I was like, yo, it is what it is. I got to stand next to the man. The man was my brother, you know, when he didn't have this beef. And so that's how I pretty much got into beef with 50 Cent. But sometimes the game is you choose a side. Sometimes your side don't win.
Exactly. I feel that.
Yeah, I know you work with a couple of artists. I know you work with Snoop, YG.
Yeah.
Tell us about your experience with Snoop. Snoop is like, you know, he's the god. You know, he's the god. He's the god of hip hop. He's the world's most famous rapper. Everybody loves Snoop Dogg. How did you get to work with him?
Especially here on the West Coast. It's like, you know, he's literally like,
everywhere though. Listen to me. Everywhere. I know Spanish people can't talk English to me and they're Snoopy. Nah, Snoop Dogg, I can't let you get away with West Coast. He's the king of everywhere. He's the king of everywhere. So how did you link up with him and YG?
So Snoop, it's a long story. Like, I mean, I had just kind of kept crossing paths with him at the studio. Like, I first met him at Record Plant, and that was actually like a kind of crazy, it was like a kind of crazy encounter. But I met him then again like a couple more times, and I told him, I had this song, and I was like, listen, I have this song. And I knew when I made the song, like, it had this, like, very, like, old school. It was like we sampled Diana Ross in it. And so, like, it had this, like, old school, like, kind of, like, pimp vibe to it. And I was like, yo, I need to get Snoop on this song. And so I had just sent him the song. And this is the funniest text I ever got in my life. He texted me back, and he was like, yo, come meet me at the studio tonight. He gave me an address. And he goes, I'm going to have the verse laid, spade, spooned, and groomed. I was like, yo, this is the best text I ever got. And so I just went to the studio and I go to meet up with him. And this is the funniest shit. So the studio I met with him, there's like windows in that studio, and it was like so smoky I couldn't see the windows, right? And so like the next time I go to that studio, I said, oh, they put windows in. And my boy was like, no, there was windows when we were here. It was just so smoky you couldn't fucking
Snoop
see
Doggy
them.
Dogg. Let me tell you something. I went on tour with Snoop Dogg. It was me, Snoop Dogg, a bunch of us, Game, Nelly. It was one of the greatest tours I've ever been on. And they were explaining that you couldn't smoke weed in Australia. It was like a big deal. You go to jail.
Yeah.
Like real jail. Like jail time. At the time we went over there, right? And all I know is we get in there. The owner of the hotel, let's just say the owner of the Marriott, it was one of those, right? Takes us upstairs to the penthouse to show Snoop his room. As he shows Snoop his room, he lights up the blunt and passes it to Snoop. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought it was no weed over here. The owner of the Marriott is passing them blunts, giving them all type of shit. I'm like, yo, no one can stop Snoop Dogg from smoking some shit. It's impossible. He got like a license. He got a license, you know, before it was legal, you know, Snoop Dogg, I think everybody wants to smoke with him one time.
Oh my God. My eyes felt like they were glued. Like, I'm not joking. I started to have a panic attack because I have small eyes. And like, I was so high the first time I was with him. My eyes started to feel like they were like crusting together in the corners. I was like, oh my God, I can't open my fucking eye.
Yo, but you was like, yo, but I'm smoking with Snoop. Smoking with Snoop Dogg. That's like a fucking major accomplishment.
It really is, as a stoner especially. Like,
yo, I did a show one time in LA. Outdoor, it was a weed concert. It was like they were selling weed products. And long story short, I think it was me, T Grizzly, a bunch of artists, Bone Thugs. So I go every show, I try to die. So I'm going on stage, sweating bullets, trying to kill it, this, that, and everybody's there, and everybody's smoking. Girls, guys, everything. The whole place is smoking. There's like 2,000 to 3,000 people. So when I go to the back, I'm thinking I flopped. I'm thinking I didn't kill the show or nothing like that, right? So the promoter goes to the back, and they giving me all type. I don't smoke. They give me all type of weed shit. Weed candies, weed pipes, weed, every shit you could think of, fucking weed pancakes. Anything you could think of, they're giving it to me, right? So I told the promoter, I said, damn, man, I really try to kill it. He said, are you fucking crazy, bro? They love you out there. We're stoners, Holmes. And I got it. They just so fucking high.
Yeah.
That they loving the show, but they out there like, you know what I'm saying? You know, he said, we're stoner, Holmes. We don't jump up and down. We're just high. I was like, oh, shit. That's why, because I'm used to motherfuckers going crazy when I perform, but they were looking at me like, but they was high as fuck.
Yeah, the weed festivals, they be like so dead. I performed at like a little weed festival thing in Vegas one time. And so on top of being high, it was hot as fuck too. I was like, nobody is doing, like they look like zombies. The crowd was just like, like just like that. I'm like,
yeah,
yo, like, I'm like, they're like dead.
No, that shit crazy. They high as fuck. So you go, so obviously, Chanel, you tell me your favorite influences. You've worked with YG, Snoop Dogg. You was once signed to
Young Money.
Cash Money. Young Money. And you're so beautiful.
Thank you.
I can't help but thinking you love music. You obviously keep telling me my music. I've been writing for other. Does it work against you that you're so beautiful that people sleep on you because you're actually beautiful?
I don't know. I mean, maybe I guess. I think that sometimes the people like see somebody that looks attractive or smiling, and maybe they don't see a person that comes from like a struggle or has like been through anything. So I can't help the way I look, but it definitely, you know, let's just put it this way. My life has not been as pretty as I look. That's a good way to put it, you know? So I do think that being a pretty person and smiling a lot, you know, maybe people are like, why the fuck is this girl a rapper? What has she been through? But I think that's a good way to put it is, you know, my life definitely hasn't been as pretty as I look. So,
my life hasn't been as pretty as I look either. Let me tell you something. I'm looking some shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm still in the game, baby. You talking to the wrong one. So this debut album, why the title is America's Sweetheart?
I actually wanted to do that title for like the past couple years because like I've been pushing back this album for so fucking long. And I got the title because so many people, like, it's crazy. I'll be walking through the airport and people always be like, oh, you're like America's sweetheart. It's, you know, I don't know why I'm saying it with that accent. It's usually a lot of Midwest, like, country people be like, you're like America's sweetheart. And so a lot of people say that to me, you know, because they see me on TV. I'm on this show where I'm laughing all the time. It's like America's sweetheart. But, you know, I think it's kind of, it was a good title for me because it's kind of like an oxymoron. You know, I'm sweet, but I'm still tough. I'm still a badass girl. And I think that that's important for women to know that, you know, you can still be a tough person, but also keep it sweet and classy at the same time. You don't got to be 100% ratchet all the time, you know? Like, you can be tough and still be a sweet, presentable, classy girl. And so that's kind of what it is, you know? It's like I'm a sweetheart, but I'm still also a tough, strong woman. And the music says it, you know? You can hear in the songs, like, there's a lot of songs where I'm talking about some real shit, and then I do have songs where I'm singing more pretty and it's more pop, and it's really a blend, you know, and it's kind of like the perfect title to show like that, like you could basically be, yeah, like I said, like a tough bitch and also be a sweetheart at the same time.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of like, how do you don't be ratchet when you got a song with Too Short? I'm like, what poppy song is this? Like, you got motherfucking bitch? What's my
Did you hear it?
Bird? Bitch, what's up? You know,
I told Short, I was like, short. I was like, yo, I know, like, I was like, I know I'm talking shit, but it was more like playing around. And I was like, you literally are setting me up to get beat up.
Yeah, you know, Too Short, man, that's my idol. I had an album release party a year ago.
Uh-huh.
He still looked young. He was like, all the ladies was on him. I gotta live vicariously through Too Short. That motherfucker, rock star. He a
Yo, he
rock
is.
star.
He doesn't
That
age. His skin is like fucking elastic. I think
yo,
maybe
let me
it's
tell
just
you,
like all the turning up or something keeps him youthful.
Too Short is who you want to be. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Too Short. So Too Short, he rock with you, man. That's amazing. That's pretty amazing to work with Too Short.
Thank you.
He's one of the greatest.
Yeah, he's like literally like so supportive and like he's always had my back too. Like he tells me like one time like somebody was talking shit about me like in the studio and he literally had to like put somebody in check at his studio and he was like, hey, shut up, like I know her, you don't fucking know her. And then when we recorded that song Pull Up, it was funny, he was on speakerphone with E40 and I'm like, this is crazy. Like E40 and Too Short, like I know I named a lot of East Coast shit I listened to in high school, but as far as the West Coast shit, definitely E40 and Too Short was like the West Coast shit we were listening to. And so to be in the studio with Too Short and he like put me on speakerphone with E40, I was like, damn, this is crazy. Like I'm like, I never thought I'd be here. Like eighth grade me was like pinching myself, you know?
Yo, let me tell you something. E40, that's another one. E40, I think I'm like East Coast E40. That's what I, yeah, because you know E40 always got a hit. Every year he comes with another hit. And the young people fuck with E40. So I'll be like, yo, well, I'm hoping I'm New York's E40. You know what I'm saying? Because E40's such a legend. So the record is out. Right? Have you been receiving the just due you've been looking for? Has your fans been telling you they love the album? Is it everything you thought it would be?
Yes, I think so. I mean, all the reaction is great. I haven't got like any negativity. There's a couple haters as always, but like compared to normal, it's like no negativity. So it's all good feedback. I definitely think it could be more poppin', but I'm independent right now, so I'm doing things all on my own. No label funding anything or paying for marketing, huge marketing dollars, which is what a lot of people have these days.
So you're independent?
Yeah, I'm independent.
Where you put it through? What distribution?
I'm with EQ.
Okay, you with the family, huh?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put music out through EQ too.
Yeah, they're dope.
Yeah, they're great people, man. Yo, Chanel, your top 5 favorite rappers of all time. This is almost like a ritual we do every night.
Okay.
And don't have to be Fat Joe. No Fat Joe. Don't worry about me.
Like I have to include you. I'm fucking talking to you right now.
Nah, forget me. I want your real top 5 people that you love. This your favorite.
Okay.
Of all time.
Definitely Tupac, Eminem, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, and I think I'm gonna have to say Jadakiss. Yeah, I was listening to a lot of Jadakiss when I first started rapping. And
I was listening to a lot of Jadakiss too. I actually talked to him today.
Really?
I called him up today out of nowhere. I called up some random friends today just to tell him I love him and stuff like that. He was one of them.
Yo, please tell him that like I love him and like it's fun. Actually, I did a little laugh at the end of the song with Too Short on Pull Up, and a bunch of my friends were like, "Yo, you're doing the Jadakiss laugh." I was like, I didn't mean to, but apparently my laugh sounds kind of like Jadakiss laugh on the end of that song.
Are you guys have y'all started filming ridiculousness since COVID? Have y'all started filming or?
Yeah, we film a lot more in like shorter times now. So like now we film 6 episodes a day, which is fucking crazy. We used to do 3 a day, so now we do 6 a day, and like they cram it more together because we have to get COVID tested, and like I think it's like, you know, more of a hassle. Like I feel so bad for the crew and everything. Like they have to wear these fucking shields all day long and like, you know, masks and everything. And
Yo,
I think that's
I've been to Khaled's house, man. I Yo, Khaled ain't playing with this COVID shit, man.
I
Or
know.
I'm not playing with it either. Actually, I got the man coming over now to do a COVID test because I want to go to my mother's tomorrow. I want to make sure I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's
right
what
now,
just get tested. You gotta get, getting tested is so
I get
important.
tested
It's
almost every week.
yeah,
I get
that's what
tested,
we
and
do.
I'm not bugging out. I'm not in no crazy crowded places, but I still get tested. But Canada have these motherfuckers in a spacesuit. Like, well, I'm like, yo, this shit crazy, but he ain't taking no chances. But yo, Chanel, thanks for coming on the big show. God bless you.
Thank you for
I
having
tell Raul
me.
and Chris Jones, you send your love.
For sure. It's been an honor.
Stay up. The album is called America's Sweetheart.
Yes. Go stream that.
God bless.
All right. Bye.
All right, baby. Bye-bye.